Hello, my name is Roxanne and I'm a physical therapist from PT Health Academy. Because we're all stuck inside these days, I thought I would do a video on an exercise program that you can do indoors with minimal equipment. This is appropriate for all ability levels because I'm going to show different variations of each move and you pick which level is appropriate for you. I'm going to demonstrate a couple repetitions of each move and then you pause the video and complete however many are appropriate. This program should take you about 30 to 40 minutes to complete. It includes a warm-up, some strength training, cardio, and will end with some stretch. Please don't start a new exercise program without the approval of your physician if you need it. And don't work through any exercises that cause pain. It's important to me that you do each rep very pristinely with good quality. To ensure this happens, I recommend that you try to do the exercises either in front of a mirror or better yet, grab a family member that you can work out with and you can look at each other and cue each other and make sure that you're using good technique. Let's get started. Let's warm up. We're going to start with some arm moves. This one, you open your arms wide and then swing crisscross back in front. We often think of a warm up as a way to get our heart rate going, our core temperature up, but it's also a way to prep our joints for the demands we're going to place on them during the strength training component of our workout. So it's important that we put them through some range of motion and get them prepared as well. The next motion is a large cross-country ski arms. With each of these warm-up moves, you're going to do 10 to 15 reps of them. If you're new to these, you want to go nice and slow and controlled and really get an idea of how far you're comfortable going. And if these are not something new to you, then you can put a little oomph behind them. What I do guard you against is throwing momentum into it and swinging your arms like this. Jamming your joints at end range repeatedly is not a good idea. And the third move is a goalpost move where you raise your arms up and down, really opening up your chest. Key here too is make sure that your belly button stays in. You don't want to arch your back on the end of every motion. Keep that belly button in. Ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles all in a nice line. All right, so if you go through each one of those three moves 10 to 15 times, you'll definitely feel your arms and your upper body warmed up. All right, now let's move on to our leg warm up. You're gonna do a gentle knee to chest, either grabbing in the front of your knee or behind your knee. The important point on this one is that you need to stay up nice and tall and not bring your chest down to your knees. Stay up nice and straight and pull up. Again, 10 to 15 reps on each side. Move number 2 is a foot to butt. Again, kicking back, swing your leg back. You want to keep your knee underneath your hip. Don't let it creep forward. And if you are able to, you can reach back and grab your ankle, but only do that if it doesn't require you to tip and strain to reach it. You still want to be able to stay up nice and tall as you do that. So knee to chest, foot to butt. Third move is a nice big side step. Now if you have a hallway, you can side step all the way down your hallway and back. I'm just going to stay here. You're going to take a big side step from one to the other. Now, a progression of this would be to get down into an athletic stance. But if you're new to this, I recommend that you stay up nice and tall and just really work on reaching a nice big side step. The fourth move is my favorite, but it is the hardest to learn. It's a single leg deadlift. As you reach your leg back, your chest drops to the floor. What most beginners do is they let their chest drop and then they lift their leg. And you want your ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles to all move like a unit, reaching forward and back up, 10 to 15 times on each leg. If you're new to this and you're struggling, it does help sometimes to put something in front of you to help with your balance. Just don't use that as a target that rounds you. You still want to stay up nice and tall, but it gives you something to touch at the end of the rep to maintain your balance. And again, you're going to do 10 to 15 reps on each side. That back foot should stay pointed down. Don't let it roll out. Keep that toe down and back up. Chest stays up, shoulder blades are pinching. Nice. Again, 10 to 15 reps on each side with that as well. Now, once you've completed the warm-up, if you don't feel like you are warmed up, if you don't feel like you need to take your hoodie off, if you don't feel like your heart rate is elevated a little bit, Go ahead and do all those moves, the 3 arm moves and the 4 leg moves, one more time, 10 reps each. I'll wait. Okay, now we're ready for the strength training portion of the program. This is where there's going to be a little variety depending on what your goals and fitness level is. If you're aiming for more of strength gains, then you want to do anywhere between 3 and 6 reps of each exercise for 2 to 3 sets. If you're aiming for more endurance gains or you're new to exercise, I would recommend you do kind of the medium or lower intensity exercises for 10 to 15 reps for 2 to 3 sets. The program consists of 5 moves: push, pull, hinge, squat, carry. If every time you work out you do those 5 moves, you're incorporating all the major muscle groups of your body, you're incorporating a great core component, and you're certainly building your body in a very functional way. We're going to start with the push. The push is the easiest exercise to grade to various intensities with 0 equipment. The most intense push-up you can probably do at home with no additional like weight or resistance is elevating your feet above your hands. So if you put your feet up on the couch or a chair and your hands are on the floor, doing push-ups from there is fairly intense. Now grading it down from there then, of course, as you lower your feet level with your hands, like doing a push-up on the floor, that's a little bit easier than those elevated push-ups. And then we can grade from there by lifting your hands in relation to your feet. So I tend to do my push-ups somewhere between like a chair height level and a table level. Sometimes if my arms are tired, I'll just do them off the kitchen counter. And then if you're really new to push-ups, you haven't done them in 10 years, I would even suggest just doing them up against the wall. The key to a push-up is it should look like a plank. It's really a moving plank. Your ears, shoulders, hips, knees, and ankles should be in line. Your head shouldn't be dropping or lifting, and your butt shouldn't be up or down. Your body should be nice and straight, just like if you were to do a plank. Nice and straight. If you can't complete all of your desired reps at a certain level, there's nothing wrong with doing 3 to 4 at one level and then doing the rest at the next level easier. Go ahead and do your prescribed number of push-up reps. Let's move on to the hinge exercise. Let's start with the basics. Feet shoulder width apart, knees are slightly unlocked, all right? You're gonna drive your hips straight back. I like to put my hands there. It reminds me where I'm trying to pivot from. Ears, shoulders, hips in line. All right, so don't let your chin come forward. Don't let your trunk round as you come down, and certainly don't turn it into a squat. All right, it's literally just hips back and then drive them back up with a nice little butt squeeze on the end. Hips back, drive it back forward. All right, that's a basic hinge move. A great place to start. 10 or 15 reps with that one. If you want to challenge, do you remember the straight leg deadlift that we started with? You can grab a weight, all right, and you're going to put it in the opposite hand of the leg you're working on. So left leg, I'm going to tip my right leg back, reach my right hand towards my left toe, and then come on back up. Straight leg deadlift with a little bit of weight. All right, again, 10 to 15 reps on each side with that one. Pick one of those 2 or do a set of each. That's a great place to start. Give it a try. All right, now we're ready for our pull move. You need a little bit of equipment for the pull. I'm going to show you how to kind of set up a little bench with 2 chairs. And then you can either use, if you have a dumbbell available, a nice little dumbbell, or if you don't have dumbbells, you can certainly grab a grocery bag, a tote of some sort, and then just fill it with a little bit of weight. All right, and that creates my resistance for this move. We're going to do a 1-arm row. Set yourself up on your 2 chairs like a bench. Stance knee is bent, trunk is straight, ears, shoulders, hips in line. Grab the tote and just row that on up. Pinch that shoulder blade back. Nice. 10 to 15 reps on each side. You'll just turn around then and do the other arm. To increase the intensity, you can add a little extra weight. Moving on to squats now. Squats can be a little challenging if you've never done them before. So I'm going to try to break it down to something really simple if you've never given these a try. I think it's really nice to learn to do a squat off the edge of a chair. When you sit, your feet are shoulder width apart. Your feet are shoulder width apart. Your knees are wide over your toes. Chest is up. Ears, shoulders, hips in line. You're going to pivot through your hips like we did with the hip hinge, and then stand up and then sit back down. And that's your beginner squat. Now that still might be too hard for you if you're tall and the chair is short, or if you've got cranky knees that aren't used to this, then you want to put some pillows in the chair. That way you're not sitting down as far, and that may be where you need to start. All right? So you're going to do your reps at that height. If you're accustomed to squatting and you don't need the chair, then you're just going to practice those good body weight squats. Again, your feet are wide, knees go out over your toes, drop down as far as you're comfortable going, and come on back up. Ears, shoulders, hips in line, chest stays up. Think about pinching your shoulder blades together and dropping your butt towards your heels. I struggle a little bit with losing my pelvis. As you watch me, sometimes my pelvis moves out of position. I'm still working on perfecting the bottom of that. If that's still too easy, you can go ahead and turn it into a jump squat. All right, nice soft landing. Go ahead and try a couple of sets of your squats. All right, the last move of our strength training component is the carry. There are a number of ways to do a carry. I think the easiest way is to grab a tote bag or a grocery bag, load it up with some objects, some dumbbells, whatever you've got on hand. You can do either one bag in one hand or a bag in each hand. There's benefits to both. The key here is that you stay up nice and tall. That weight wants to kind of sink you down and compress you and kind of let you drop forward. And you're going to lift nice and strong against that weight, chest up, squeeze your butt a little bit, tuck your chin. Don't let your body shift towards the weight. This can be really harsh on your spine. So keep everything nice and tight up tall, and you're literally just going to walk up and down your hallway, across a large room this way, or just wandering the house. And then when you're tired, you set it down, give yourself a little break, switch hands, and do the same distance on the other side. This is as effective as a side plank, but I find it to be much more interesting to do because I like kind of the moving quality of it. But your technique and your posture during this exercise is really important. You have to have your chin back, ears, shoulders, hips in line, chest up, really maintaining that. Don't let that weight sink you down. Don't let it shear you to the side. All right, so give that a try. You're going to wander your house literally with a tote bag full of whatever you have to kind of give yourself a challenge. My least favorite part of exercise is cardio training. But a few years ago, I discovered Tabata intervals. I love these intervals. They're 20 seconds of work with 10-second breaks. You do 8 rounds. It's 4 minutes of effort. Working hard in an interval helps you gain the same benefits of steady state exercise in a much shorter period of time. So sometimes I just do one interval as part of my workouts, and sometimes I do several. How do you incorporate this at home? You can pick any exercise and turn it into a Tabata interval. You can do jumping jacks, you can do squats, you can jog up and down your hallway. I like to run the stairs. So I found an app that has a Tabata timer on it. I've purchased some music that are set to the Tabata timer. The app or the music just tells you when to work and when to rest. So it's kind of mindless and super easy to follow. Your job is just to push yourself. So find an app, find a timer, super easy. Just Google Tabata interval and it'll give you a timer, and pick an exercise and go to work. Welcome back. It's now time to finish with some good stretching. There's 3 muscle groups that I recommend that you spend time stretching: your chest, the front of your hips, and your calf muscles. These areas tend to be problematic as we age. Those are areas that tend to get really stiff. You need a couple pieces of equipment to stretch well. I've got a book, a nice thick book, Harry Potter and the Deathly Hallows or something similar. kind of a rag to protect my book. I've got a beach towel roll. I also have a foam roller. You don't have to use the foam roller, but if you have one, I'm going to show you how to use that to stretch your chest. We're going to start with the calf stretch. Okay, looking down at my feet here, you're going to put one foot up on the book with your foot straight ahead or slightly in. And then just take one step forward. And you should feel that stretch in your calf, the big muscle on the bottom part of your leg. Hold it for 20 or 30 seconds, and then go ahead and switch legs. Toe up, straight ahead or slightly in. Take a little step forward. Nice stretch in the calf. 20 or 30 second holds. You're going to do 2 or 3 stretches on both legs. Good. Moving on, I'm going to show you how to do a hip flexor stretch for the front of your hip. You're going to half kneel onto the towel just to protect your knee. I'm going to turn to the side so you can see me better. All right, you're going to sit back towards your foot. You're going to do a little bit of a pelvic tilt, squeeze your butt, hold that, and then shift forward. And you should feel the stretch in the front of the straight leg. If you find that you can stretch way forward, you've lost your tilt somewhere and you're no longer stretching your hip, you're arching your back. So you need to sit back, nice tilt, squeeze your butt, shift forward. 20 or 30 second hold, 2 or 3 times on each side. I'll switch legs so you can see what it looks like from the other side. Again, sit back, little tilt, shift forward. Nice stretch. So that's the hip flexor stretch. Finally is the chest stretch. If you have a towel roll, what you're going to do is you're going to lay back. You want your head on the towel, or you can use that, use the book under your head. Palms are up. Slide your hands up to the sides until you feel that nice stretch across your chest. If you still are looking for more stretch, you can bend your arms into that goalpost position. And then just lay here for a couple of minutes. And you should feel a good stretch across your chest. Hi, kitty. All right, so if you want to try doing this with the foam roller, grab your foam roller. You're going to sit on the end, lay back. It's very important that your head hits and that you tuck your chin. Don't let your head sit like this. If you're up like this, use a pillow or something to prop your head up. You really need your chin tucked for a good stretch and to keep it safe for your neck. All right, again, palms up. Slide your arms out to the sides until you feel that chest open up. And then just lay here for 2 or 3 minutes.